It's one of the most recognizable beats in pop history. Billie Jean, the song that moonwalked Michael Jackson into superstardom. But behind the catchy hook and iconic dance moves lies a chilling true story, one that involves obsession, delusion, and even a loaded gun. This is the disturbing backstory behind Michael Jackson's Billie Jean. Released in January 1983 as the second single from Thriller, the best-selling album of all time, Billie Jean topped the Billboard Hot 100 for 7 consecutive weeks and became a cultural phenomenon. Its hypnotic rhythm and unforgettable bassline would become part of music history. But while millions danced to it, few realized the real inspiration behind it wasn't joy or romance. It was fear. Michael Jackson once revealed that Billie Jean was based on real experiences. Specifically, the women who claimed he or his brothers had fathered their children during their time touring as the Jackson 5. Over the years, these false claims became disturbingly frequent. Michael said that Billie Jean was not a specific person, but a composite of these women, a symbol of obsession and delusion. One particular woman pushed that narrative to terrifying extremes. She began sending Michael letters, insisting that he was the father of her child. In these increasingly delusional messages, she claimed they were in a secret relationship, even though they had never met. Eventually, the letters took a darker turn. She mailed him a package containing a photograph of herself, a baby, and a loaded gun. Alongside it was a note urging Michael to use the gun to end both their lives. She believed they would be united in the afterlife. The incident horrified the Jackson family, who quickly contacted the authorities. The woman was later institutionalized. But the trauma she caused stayed with Michael, and that fear found its way into Billie Jean. As the story goes, the song came to him while driving down the freeway in his Rolls-Royce. A sudden inspiration hit. The line, "The kid is not my son," popped into his mind fully formed, echoing his frustration and paranoia. From there, the song practically wrote itself. The track's groove, rhythm, and lyrical ambiguity created an atmosphere that was both mysterious and magnetic. At the heart of Billie Jean is its bass line, instantly recognizable and eternally iconic. Played by Louis Johnson of the Brothers Johnson, this bass line became the defining element of the song. Its pulsing, minimalistic funk gave the track a driving force unlike anything else on the radio at the time. Jackson's attention to detail extended beyond lyrics and performance. He was obsessive about sound. Every instrument was carefully layered to create a rich and dynamic sonic landscape. The arrangement wasn't accidental. It was architectural. Each beat, each note had to serve a purpose. The song was co-produced by Michael Jackson and the legendary Quincy Jones. The two had already worked together on Off the Wall, but Billie Jean marked the peak of their creative collaboration. They pushed each other constantly. Jackson wanted the song to have a distinct edge, a groove that would grab people instantly. Jones challenged him at every step, pushing for innovation. Their partnership, however, wasn't without friction. Jones initially wanted to change the song's title. He was concerned that people would think it was about tennis star Billie Jean King. He proposed calling it Not My Lover instead. But Michael flatly refused. He was attached to the name Billie Jean, not just for how it sounded, but for what it symbolized. This wasn't just a song title. It was a statement. Another disagreement came when Jackson asked for co-producing credit and additional royalties, arguing that the final version was almost identical to the demo he had originally created. Jones denied both requests, which led to tension between the two for several days before they reconciled. In the studio, Jackson was intense and meticulous. Jones had him record vocal overdubs by singing through a 6-foot cardboard tube, a creative, even bizarre method to achieve a unique vocal texture. Even more impressive, Michael nailed his lead vocal in a single take. He had been undergoing daily vocal training during the production of the song, and that dedication paid off. Behind the boards was engineer Bruce Swedian, who brought his own layer of genius to the process. Swedian usually mixed a track once, but for Billie Jean, he mixed the song 91 times. The process became so complicated that Jones eventually asked Sweetian to go back and revisit an earlier mix, specifically mix number 2. As it turned out, that version had the magic they were looking for. It became the final mix used on the album. Jones had also requested that the drums have a distinct sonic personality. Sweetian delivered by creating a custom setup that included placing a flat piece of wood between the snare and hi-hat, giving the beat its sharp, crisp character. Years later, Sweetian would say, "There aren't many pieces of music where you can hear the first 3 or 4 notes of the drums and immediately tell what the piece of music is. But I think that is the case with Billie Jean, and that I attribute to sonic personality." Then there was the music video, shot in early 1983 and revolutionary for its time. Directed by Steve Barron, the video featured cutting-edge effects and storytelling. One of its most iconic elements was the glowing sidewalk, the light-up tiles that lit up under Jackson's feet as he danced. These illuminated panels were specially created for the shoot and became instantly iconic. The video used rapid cuts, creative transitions, and a noir-inspired atmosphere that stood out in the early MTV era. Jackson worked closely with Barron and the crew to make sure his stage presence and dance moves were captured just right. The result was not just a music video. It was a visual experience that helped set a new standard for what music videos could be. Of course, the defining Billie Jean moment came on March 25, 1983, during the broadcast of Motown 25, Yesterday, Today, Forever. Michael performed the song live, wearing a single glove, a black sequin jacket, and high-water pants. But it was during that performance that he debuted the moonwalk, and the world froze. That moment turned Jackson into a global icon. But what few realized was that behind that dazzling move was a deeply personal and painful story. The pressure, the paranoia, the fear, it was all real, and the massive success of Billie Jean only intensified it. Michael became increasingly reclusive, wary of strangers, and surrounded by security. For him, Billie Jean wasn't just a hit song, it was a reminder that fame could be dangerous. In the end, Billie Jean is more than a pop classic. It's a masterwork built on obsession, genius, and trauma. From the chilling inspiration behind the lyrics, to the groundbreaking production, to the iconic moonwalk performance, every part of Billie Jean carries a story. And that story is as unforgettable as the song itself. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the story behind Billie Jean, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. What song would you like us to uncover next? Let us know in the comments below, and we might just bring it to life.